you guys how care staff cleans our cat cages. Does that sound okay?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. All right. Here we go.
All right. So we always start with clean gloves because we want to try and keep cooties from one cage, keep them from going into another cage.
Yes.
All right. So get some gloves. So we are actually going to clean this kind of nervous but still very cute kitten.
Okay.
Her name is Sophie.
Hi, Sophie. Oh, and I don't want to scare her, so I'm going to be very gentle. No, Kenzie, do all of these cages get cleaned every single day?
Yeah, so every single morning we do what we call books, which is just like a record sheet for every single cat cage, and we record how well they ate. We record what happened in their litter box, if they pooped and peed, and then kind of how their behavior is doing in their cage. So once we record all of that and gather all of that information, then we want to clean the cages completely so they have a fresh cage for 24 hours, and then we'll record what we see the next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so this is one of your jobs here at Dane County Humane Society as a person who is totally devoted to making sure that cats get the care they need. You're willing to do this all the time.
Yes, I just do it over and over. Cats are probably our biggest population at the shelter. So care staff really have to be okay with cats, number one, because they're the ones that we're cleaning the most frequently throughout the day. We have a lot of different areas in the shelter where cats live. So we do kind of one section of cats at a time. So I have our pre-adoptable area right now. So these are cats who aren't quite ready for adoption, maybe because they're waiting on something medical, or maybe we're kind of in contact with an owner, but no one's come to pick them up yet. So we're kind of waiting on that to see if they're going to go home or not. So they're just going to wait here until we figure out one way or another if they're adoptable or not.
Cool.
Yeah. So this little girl, you can see her over on this side.
Oh, and you put this little closure on this. Okay.
Since she seems to be a little nervous, I didn't want her to feel like she was stuck on the same side as me. Okay. So I'm going to have her hang out on the other side. Yeah. She actually came in, if her nose looks a little big to you, it's because she had what's called a botfly in her nose. This tiny little bug that crawls in and then gets like really, really big and turns into this like squishy, gross worm.
Okay, that's kind of disgusting, but it happened.
It was gross, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we had to pull it out. So now her nose swelling is going down. So we're just going to make sure her nose is going to heal okay. And then once that's okay, we'll probably spay her and then she'll be available for adoption.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
Hello, sweetie. And I'm just going to be very careful. I don't want
That's okay.
Oh, she's coming to say hi.
That's okay.
Well, I can see the body language. It was kind of scary. So I'm just going to back away just a little bit because I don't want to make her any more nervous. And she did have a huge fly in her nose.
Yes, she did have a big fly.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so this is kind of what kitty cages look like. At the bottom, there's always newspaper. That's to absorb any water spilling from pool parties that they might have, or maybe spilling canned food. And then we put a towel on top so it's squishy and comfortable. There's toys, lots of blankets in here. And then you see that we have a towel that kind of hangs over the shelf.
Oh, yeah.
And it usually sits like this. So the kitties have an option to hide under the towel if they want to, if they're kind of scared, which Sophie, she really likes her hidey towel because she gets a little nervous.
Right.
So all I'm going to do is I'm going to dump water. So we're going to get fresh water every day.
Okay, just goes right in that spout there, that drain.
And her bowl is clean and she didn't spill it, so she doesn't need a different bowl. I'm going to take her old dishes out so we can give her new ones for breakfast.
Okay.
And I'm just going to put them over here in a pile of dirty dishes.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to straighten up her room and make sure she has enough toys and her blankets don't have canned food on them. Everything looks good. It's okay if it's a little hairy. That's just kind of how cats are.
Yeah. All right. It looks like she did a nice job in using her litter box.
Yes, she kept everything in her litter box.
Wow.
It's okay if there's a little litter over here. Kittens are very messy little creatures. All right, so I'm going to open her door, and then we're just going to, she and I are going to trade sides. She's probably going to run over. Can you pull over, little man?
Come on, little one. I'm just going to wait here to see if she goes right through the hole. Come on, little one. Oh, there we go. Oh, there. And now she's, like Kenzie said, she really likes to go behind her little towel hidey spot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. And then, Kenzie, it looks like you closed the door from the other side.
Yeah, so
Oh, this
we're
is
just gonna
slick.
say separate, just so she doesn't feel really nervous and try to run out.
Yes.
So she has her own side and she doesn't have to worry about me coming over.
Oh, that's so nice.
All right, so this side's a little poopier.
Oh.
This is the more real side of my job. There's
Oh.
a lot of poop in the box,
Yeah.
on the newspaper, a little bit on the walls.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kittens are poopy.
Yeah, they are poopy.
All right, so we're gonna start with this messy box. And it's so gross. I think I'm just gonna start over and give her a new one. So
Oh.
we're gonna dump everything out that's in here.
And if it wasn't this gross, would you just go ahead and sift through and get the poops out and then leave some of the litter?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I would scoop out and separate all of the dirty litter from the clean litter.
Okay.
So then we don't have to waste anything. But everything in there was pretty much soaked with pee or poop.
Oh.
So we're just gonna do a different box.
Okay, and that goes right in the dirty area.
Mhm.
Okay.
So here's where all of our clean litter boxes are. We got different sizes and colors.
Wow.
So I'm gonna get her one that's a little bit bigger.
And this seems kind of obvious, but because she's a kitten, she'll have a smaller litter box or not necessarily?
It depends. Some
Okay.
kittens are super, super messy with their litter boxes, so we have to go really big.
Oh, okay.
Or if they have like multiple kittens in a cage, then usually we go bigger. But since she got it all in her litter box for
Yeah.
the most part, I'm not gonna go too much bigger since she's still a pretty small lady.
Perfect. And she needs place in there to put her body as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put this up on the shelf out of the way. Brush off some of this poopy litter on the walls. My goodness, little girl. You had a litter party.
Woohoo! She had a pool party over here, and then she had a litter party.
All
Now,
right.
what is that you have in your hand?
Yeah, so these, we call them donut toys. And kittens absolutely love them.
Oh.
You just sit there and then you spin the donut and they'll sit there and spin it in a circle.
Oh,
They
fun.
love them.
Now, is there a reason why it's in the litter box area?
Yeah, so technically we usually try to keep fun stuff and food on their bedside because it's usually cleaner. And then litter box kind of stuff on the other side.
Mhm.
But donut toys are kind of big and they do really well on a flat surface. So putting them on a towel kind of makes it hard to spin.
Sure.
So when it's really flat on newspaper and metal like this, it spins really well.
Sure.
All right, so we're gonna actually trade out this newspaper because it's got some cookie paw prints on it.
All right.
And again, I want her cage to be totally clean
Yep.
for the next 24 hours.
Hi, baby. I'm gonna see if I can get up. Hi, Sophie.
She's very nice once you start petting her, but
It looks like
meeting
she's,
people is kind of new for her still.
yeah, and it looks like she's not hiding behind her towel, so she might be coming just a little bit more
Yeah.
comfortable. Okay, so you've got a couple layers on there.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially since she was pretty messy, I'm gonna do some extra.
Okay.
So we'll put the litter box down, and
Brush
the donut toy. And since the walls were a little messy, I'm gonna get a rag with some of our cleaning spray
Oh,
and wipe the walls down.
okay. Boy, look at how nice this looks now. And it actually smells pretty fresh with that clean litter in there.
Yeah.
Wow. And campers, you wouldn't come back here because these cats still aren't up for adoption yet. But as soon, like as Kenzie said, as soon as they're healthy and they're all cleared and ready to go, wow, look at this cat. Then they'll be up for adoption. Hi there. Are you saying good morning to the campers? Good morning. Oh, yes, good morning. And do you just like hiding out in your litter box? That's okay. Wow, you must take up the whole thing too.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Wow. So now Kenzie's just wiping down with some disinfectant just to make sure everything's clean. Remember, 24 hours.
There we
So-
go. So the walls weren't super bad, so it
Nice.
only took me a second, and then I popped her door open, and now she's ready to go.
Oh, good job.
Good job,
Kitty.
Sophie.
Nice work.
Cute girl.
And how many months old did we say she was?
Let's see. So we haven't marked it yet. I'm gonna guess based on her size that she's maybe between 2 and 3 months old.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
And did she come with any So she probably didn't come with any siblings because
Nope,
she was
someone
just.
found her all by herself.
Oh.
They actually brought her to an emergency vet first, but then when they found out it wasn't her cat, it was a stray cat, they told her to bring her to us.
Oh. Well, at least someone
Yeah.
found her and didn't just leave her there.
So,
And we got her the help, and soon she's going to have a new home.
yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, what do you think, Bud? Did you want me to do another one?
Campers, what do you think? Are you good with seeing how a cat area is clean? Would you like to ask some questions?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of working with the cats?
Oh man, cats are my favorite animal, period. But I think my favorite part are cats kind of like Sophie, where they come in really, really nervous. And then you see them kind of get more comfortable with people and meeting more people. They're more comfortable in their cage, and they just start to improve so drastically in front of your eyes. It just feels really good that you're doing your best to make them comfortable when they're here.
Aww.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Any other questions? Kat, do you have a cat question?
Why do cats shed a lot?
Oh.
That's just part of, having hair. People shed, dogs shed, cats shed. Cats actually shed quite differently depending on their hair length. So a lot of people see short-haired cats actually and assume their hair is shorter, so they probably shed less. But they actually shed just as much as long-haired cats. It just looks different. So short-haired cats will shed individual tiny hairs because it's not long and it doesn't clump together, and then long-haired cats will shed tufts of hair. So you'll probably have just as much hair in your house no matter what. It'll just look a little different.
Kat, did you say that you had adopted a cat from here?
No, I don't have cats. I have a dog that I
Okay.
adopted, in a Milwaukee place.
Oh, sure. Very good.
Cool.
Jocelyn, what about you? Do you have any comments or questions?
No, not really.
Okay. Jacob, what about you? Oh, Jacob, you've got your hand up. Go ahead, buddy.
Who gives them their names?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes cats come in because their owners have something going on where they can't take care of them anymore. So for those cats, their owners tell us the cat's name, and we usually keep it because they probably know it. If a cat comes in stray and we don't really know anything about them, like Sophie, different people on staff will name cats. Sometimes we name them kind of normal names like Sophie. Sometimes we name them kind of goofy, silly names. And people who adopt cats actually seem to like the goofy ones because they kind of catch their attention when they look on the website.
Yeah. So Jacob, if you saw Sophie but didn't think that she had a name, what name would you give her?
Cookie?
Aww.
Cookie, I had a calico named Cookie when I was little.
Oh, that's so cute.
Very cute name.
Does anyone else have a name that perhaps you could name Sophie, also known as Cookie? Go ahead, Jocelyn.
Sugar.
Sugar.
That's cute too.
Aww. Fox, I know you have a name. What would you name her? I see you're almost ready to say it. What would you name her, Fox?
Oh, sorry.
I don't know.
Oh, that's
I would
okay.
have to call it Cookie too because it looks like
An Oreo.
she's like cookies and milk.
Uh-huh.
Yum, cookies and milk, one of my favorites. All right, anyone else? Anyone else that has a name perhaps, or maybe another question?
I have a
About it.
question.
Go for it.
So what's the big difference that you see between caring for the younger cats and caring for like the senior cats?
Oh, mess. Kittens
Oh.
are tornadoes. They're little tornado babies.
Oh no.
They are just so active and have so much energy at their age that the cage sizes we have at the shelter just aren't big enough to contain how crazy, and they run around and knock stuff over, and they're just super messy. And then adults and senior cats, Edward, taking a lounge in your portal.
Look at, he's got half his head, half his body, his head, and
Taking a
then
nap.
his butt. Yeah, look at that.
The senior cats, sometimes they make a mess if they're trying to bury their food, because they smell other cats and they're thinking of themselves and trying to hide their food. But for the most part, they're usually pretty neat, and not super messy.
Yeah. And animals like to actually keep themselves clean, besides kittens who don't know any better.
They don't really care.
Yeah. Jacob, did you raise your hand? Or is that from before? Do you want to put your hand down? I see your Zoom. Okay.
That's from before.
All right. That sounds good. All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, we are going to boogie on out and let Kenzie do the rest of her day.
Oh, I do. Jocelyn had her hand up. Jocelyn?
Or you could also name the little cat Kiwi.
Oh, cutie.
I'm gonna have to keep in mind these names for future kittens that we get.
Well, maybe we could do Cutie Sugar Cookie. That might be kind of
A
fun.
full name.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, campers, what do you say to our special cat expert today?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, that was so much fun. Thank you so much, Kenzie. I know you've got a lot to do, so we're going to let you get back to work. Clean these cat areas, give them some loving, of
I
course.
will.
And Kenzie, I know this is probably silly. Do you have any cats of your own at
Oh
home?
my gosh, do I have cats? I always have cats. I have 3 personal cats of my own. I have a big Maine Coon named Nano. I have a little Persian named Bernice with a smushy face. And then I have a little gray cat named Monty, and he's a special needs cat. So he's blind and has some neurological issues with his brain. And then I also foster kittens. So when kittens come in and they're too small to be made available for adoption, they come to my house and grow up and get really fat and big, and then I bring them back here so they can be available.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun.
Lots of cats in my house.
Lots of cats. That's awesome. And again, I'm going to let you get back to work. Thanks for taking so much time
Of
to be with
course.
us today, and we'll see you around the shelter, Kenzie.
Yes,
All right.
sounds good,
We'll
you guys.
see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.